And so the reason I thought I'd talk about making friends is because it's important, obviously. At our place, my wife and I, Christian Chaitanya, we lived overseas for quite a bit. Got back about last Feb or something. And we live in this pretty nice little part of Brisbane. And when we got back, there seems to be all this big development going on. And instead of neighbours being friendly, it's like this sort of bit of an urban war going on and lots of stuff happening around the place. And we sort of felt this bit of a pull to be to get involved. And we thought, oh, no, this is definitely not our business. Anyway, sort of sorted itself out a little bit. And one of the neighbours built this huge mansion, and encroached all right over the neighbour on our upside, so much so that she actually moved out and moved on. And anyway, that all settled down. So at the back of our house, we don't have a boundary to the house behind us. And I've never met the people behind us. So I thought I'll start building a fence, put up a fence and, sort out a bit of a boundary there. And after I'd already dug the holes, put the posts in and set out the rails on the fence, the neighbour popped up. And he goes, oh, are you the owner of that house? I said, oh, yeah, I'm the owner. He goes, oh, you're building a fence, that's good. And so I was pretty happy to meet him, and he even actually said to me, oh, well, can I give you some money toward it? I thought, oh, that'd be pretty cool, but anyway, that hasn't happened yet. So, hasn't cost that much. Anyway, the neighbour on his side, so he's the neighbour at the back of me, the neighbour on his side noticed that I was building a fence behind his property. And I've noticed for a long time that they haven't had a fence between their property. So he popped his head over the fence and said, oh, how are you? I said, I'm pretty good. He looked pretty uptight, and I've heard a few things going on. And he said, oh, is that guy there paying half of your fence? I said, no, this is my project. I'm paying for all of it, I just want a fence to be happy and courteous. And so he started talking a bit about things, and he said, well, we actually don't have a fence with him. And I said, oh, okay. I'm thinking, I'm not going to get raked into this one. Anyway, time went on, he had a chat, and he said, well, we've had this 4-year standoff about a fence. And I thought, this would be a great time for my phone to start ringing. So I said, listen, mate, I know a little bit about all the in and outs of the neighbourhood, and I've been away and I'm not getting involved. So I said to him, and I knew that he was a psychologist, not that that means anything, and I thought, you should know a lot about human behaviour, surely you guys could just get on and build this fence. And he said, oh, what should I do? I said, just make friends with the guy and you'll probably get it done. And he just looked at me and went, oh, I don't know, that might be too hard. So I thought, oh, anyway, all the best, anyway. So meditation is also about making friends. And there's 3 types of friends who we should make, there's 2 entities who we should make friends with. You guys know the first one? Oh, I'm disappointed.
Krishna.
Someone said Krishna, that's one, it's not the first one. Your mind. You're pretty close. I'll give you a red star anyway. So it states in the ancient yoga texts, the Bhagavad Gita. I'm just going to read a little bit. So some of you may know or not know where this information comes from. It comes from the ancient Vedic yoga texts, and the Bhagavad Gita is the essence of this yoga knowledge. It's a wonderful scripture. Gayatri, when she speaks, often calls it a guide for life, and I think that's a pretty amazing term. So in the 6th chapter it states, for he has conquered the mind is the best of friends. And as long as it is unconquered or an enemy, one has to serve the dictations of lust, anger, avarice, and delusion. So that's a pretty strong statement, right? So all of us, we do struggle at times with our mind. Anyone here ever struggle with their mind? No one. God, you're in the wrong room. Should be somewhere else.
Is there anyone that doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, of course, we all struggle with our mind at times, and due to the nature of the material world, the nature of things, sometimes we even become overwhelmed with our mind. So in these ancient yoga texts, it describes a wonderful practice to actually start to conquer our mind. So I know some of you may have listened to our little talk online yesterday, but the mind is actually like a possession of ours. It's not us. It's a possession or a tool that we have. And for the majority of us, we spend a lot of our time blunting this tool. Okay, so anyone knows anything about sharpening, like a knife or a chisel or something, the sharper your knife, the easier it is to work with, and the better the quality of your work. The finish of the work is always so much better. And it also takes less effort to use those tools. So in this age, the practice that's recommended is mantra meditation. There's different practices of meditation around, and they're all definitely have a benefit, and they're all can bring about some peace and some happiness. But in this particular age, it's characterised by life being always problematic. Like the fence. It's just a fence. It's just a couple of bits of wood, a couple of planks, and that's it. But we just make everything so complicated because our minds are, our minds have been shaped in a way that they cause us problems due to what we expose our minds to. So this practice of mantra meditation is how we can actually start to make friends with our mind. Okay, it's very important. Even if you don't have a lot of time, just a simple daily practice of 10, 15 minutes can be extremely beneficial in that regard. Okay, so someone said making friends with Krishna. That's a great answer. So that's the second entity or living being in this regard, the Supreme Person who we should make friends with. So again, from the ancient yoga text, the Bhagavad Gita, it describes actually the qualities of the Supreme Person, describes his nature, his form. And in different yoga texts, it also describes his activities, and it describes his friends. Okay? So we're all actually eternally linked to Krishna, so we're also his friend as well. So it states in the Bhagavad Gita in the 9th chapter, it states, I am the father, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the symbol Om. I'm also the Vedic text. I am the goal. I am the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. That's very wonderful words there. So this practice of mantra meditation, so while we're also experiencing the benefit of also having some more control and making friends with our mind, simultaneously we're also making more friend or a deeper friendship or reconnecting in our friendship with the Supreme Person, Krishna. So for those who knew that you may not be familiar with the term or the name for the Supreme Lord Krishna, it means that he is all attractive. Everything about him is attractive. Even when he's naughty, he's attractive. Okay? So this practice again in this age, in previous ages, different practices were recommended. So again in this age, this process of hearing, chanting and meditating upon these mantras is how we can simply uncover this special relationship that's already there. So we're all looking for the perfect friend, right? I love it when I ask a question, you all go. We're all looking for the perfect friend. Someone who's always got your back. Someone who will not let you down. Someone who's full of knowledge. Someone who's supremely attractive, all knowledgeable, all powerful. So he's described here in these Vedic texts that he is our dearmost friend. So again, with this practice of mantra meditation, we can actually reconnect with our dear Father, our dear friend. And actually, as it's described as a name for the Supreme, it means the cause of all causes. So, very powerful. Okay, so the last friendship we should make is with who? You should know this answer perfectly. Other people.
With your soul?
Sorry?
With your own soul?
I was just going to describe other people, making spiritual relationships with others, other living entities. Yeah. So this is a little Vedic text that's very nice to read. It's called the Nectar of Instruction. It's like a little guidebook for those who are wanting to actually, make some little changes in their life, to actually seek out some wisdom from these great saintly teachers, and because we all need guidance at certain times. And so it states here, there's actually 10 very nice texts in here. It states, offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting food and offering food are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee to another. So these are very nice instructions for us in how we can cultivate deep and meaningful relationships with each other. So I'm pretty lucky. I pretty much met all of my good friends here. Even met my wife here. Because associating with like-minded people is very nice. If you're going to actually cultivate spiritual knowledge and live a life that's fulfilling, and we all need friendship, we all need association, and we also need people to also inspire us, to also care for us in a way, not only just for our material needs, but also in our spiritual life. We tend to go through ups and downs a little bit. We tend to sometimes get a little bit caught up in worldly things, or maybe distracted, or our attention gets taken away to things that probably are not so conducive to our spiritual life. We all have our own little challenges. So association is so important, particularly if you can associate with people who are probably a little more advanced on our path. They can guide us along and push us along to actually achieve a little bit more depth in our spiritual life. And the greatest thing that you can do with friends is to chant. We love chanting. Whenever we get together, we maybe go to Chantal and Amit's for dinner. We tend to do a bit too much eating at Amit's, but we also have a nice chant, get together, and our friendship gets stronger. We get to know each other, and as it said here, revealing your heart in confidence. The more that we chant together, the more that we trust each other and are open and honest with each other. So this process is very much, it's holistic. It's holistic. It's not just about, taking care of or looking after just myself. It actually extends further out. So I encourage you all, if you're able to maybe practice this meditation if you can on a daily basis, if possible. 10, 15 minutes if you've got time. The benefit's lasting. We all have to go to work. We'll have to deal with stuff, that we probably wouldn't like to deal with. That's just the way it is. And if you've got your spiritual life together and you're grounded, all those things are so much easier to deal with. So when the neighbour pops his head over the fence and, starts talking about little bits and pieces, it's all good, no problem. You've also got, so I should finish here, one of the best, or the most important things you also get from meditation is insights. And these insights. Someone say, what? Oh. Okay, insights. So, and these insights come from within, from the Lord in the heart. So the more that we can meditate as well, the more that we can actually hear clearly those insights and act upon them. Okay, so I think, is that okay? Is it enough? It's enough for my end. So thank you very much. Namaste.